The man had no idea that a brief moment of carelessness had nearly cost him his life, and it all traced back to a single sip of water the day before. A cotton merchant had stopped by the roadside and taken a drink from a mountain spring, but the moment the water hit his throat, it was as if something had ignited inside him, and his personality changed completely. He grabbed a dipper from a nearby vendor. Then he started pouring ladle after ladle of spring water onto his cotton. A salt seller traveling with him was stunned. He had no clue what the cotton merchant was doing, but the cotton merchant didn't offer a single explanation. He hoisted up his heavy bamboo basket. Then he hurried off. After hesitating for a moment, the salt seller took a cautious sip of the spring water too. As soon as he swallowed, he felt a rush to the head, like sudden clarity washing over him. In the next instant, copied the cotton merchant. He poured the spring water all over his cart of salt. When he finally pushed the heavy salt cart away, the old locust tree beside the spring slowly twisted its trunk. It came to life. It said to the spring, "You really do harm people deeply. Just today alone, you've ruined 99 lives." As it turned out, this was the spring of greed. Anyone who took even one sip would become overwhelmingly greedy. The old locust tree, knowing how terrifying the spring was, asked what would become of the two men. The spring didn't answer directly. It simply spread out into a shimmering surface. It formed a mirror. Inside the mirror, the cotton merchant, delighted by his small gain, adding more and more water to his cotton. The basket became so heavy that it crushed his spine on the spot. He was left permanently disabled. As for the salt seller, his entire cart of goods eventually dissolved into a puddle of brine. He lost everything he owned. Even a mouse that had once drunk from the spring couldn't control its greed for food. It ate more and more. It grew so fat it could no longer squeeze back into its hole. In the end, it was killed by humans. A beautiful cuckoo bird also failed to resist the temptation. After one sip of the spring, it dumped its own chicks into another bird's nest. Then it pushed the original eggs out. Just then, a local official named Wu Yingji was passing by on his way to take office in Guangzhou. His young attendant spotted the spring. Excited, he scooped up a ladle of water. He was about to drink it. Wu stopped him. "I've heard there's a spring near Sherman called the Spring of Greed. Could this be it?" Startled, the attendant immediately threw the water away. But Wu didn't seem concerned. Instead, he bent down and drank a big mouthful himself. The attendant was horrified. Wu just laughed. Integrity comes from a person's will. How could one sip of water change that? Then he continued on to Guangzhou to assume his post. The following year, Guangzhou suffered from years of severe drought. The imperial court allocated 10,000 taels of gold for disaster relief. All of it was placed under Wu Yingji's management. One night, while Wu was resting at his desk, a sudden strong wind blew through the room. A cloud of black smoke poured out of his mouth. It transformed into a vicious monster. It grabbed Wu's hand. It pointed toward the key to the treasury. Wu struggled desperately to break free, but the monster picked up the key and chased after him. Soon, it caught him. It dragged him to the treasury. The monster forced him to open the vault door. It intended to make him embezzle the disaster relief funds. The noise woke the attendant. When he arrived, Wu urgently told him to recite the sage's teachings. Mencius said, "The way of the virtuous is not swayed by profit, nor disturbed by selfish desire." As the words rang out, the black smoke instantly scattered. Wu finally broke free, still shaken. The next day, he wrote the words Spring of Greed. He set up a stone monument beside the spring. It stood as a warning to future generations.